What the heck are we doing here now?
Cool, man, cool.
Honey, just because it makes you feel like you're from the 80s doesn't mean you need to act like it, okay?
Far out, man.
It's not an afro. Hey, get it under control. What are you gonna do with glue sticks? Do I even want to know? You gonna eat them? What the heck? Okay, honey. But guys, he's gone completely crazy. See what I gotta put up with? You guys come up with interesting ideas about us crafting with shower caps and paint stir sticks, and this is what my husband thinks of, is coming up with drumming like the 80s.
The 70s are alive, not the 80s, man.
You were born in the 70s, so you're really showing your age. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Help me, people. Welcome, everyone, to Just Our Imagination, hosted by Kathy Jo DIYs, Rustic and Lace DIYs, and our guest host this month is BB's Crafty Haven. And we are going to get right into it. I did try to go with a little bit more Christmas in July. There is one craft in this bundle that kind of went a little bit more summery. But we're gonna just move along, guys. So here we one of our must-use items was glue sticks, but we had to use them in a decorative way. So what I decided to do was make my own ice drippings, I guess. So I just got some parchment paper out, and I am just basically going through and making some icicles in a way here. I wanted to make enough for my birdhouse to go all the way around so it doesn't look weird. And then I ended up going and making some kind of like the shingle loopy things on there too. You see more of these on like gingerbread birdhouses. I wasn't necessarily going gingerbread, but I figured it'd be kind of a cute little decorative thing for the roof, so I went with that as well. And then I realized that I needed a couple more of the icicles, so I'm gonna do a couple more of those. Now, where I did this mistake here, after I got all of these made and cooled off and everything like that, I ended up peeling these up and kind of doing some trimming with some of the glue strings and stuff like that. That's where I messed up. I should not have done that. I should have left them stuck until I got done painting them, because I'm actually going to go in and paint them with some white paint. Now, technically, you don't need to do this because they are clear. And icicles technically are a little bit clear, so if you wanted to keep them the color that they were, you probably could have done that too. But I wanted to paint mine white to kind of give them a little bit more of a pop. And they moved around a little bit more. Off camera, I ended up painting this little birdhouse in a maroon. It's called Barn Red by Apple Barrel, but it's kind of like a maroon color. And then I started painting the roof, and I went back in that plan and decided not to do that. And I kind of went in with actually a little bit more of a tarnished pearl. It's kind of like a black with like little gold specks in it. And I went with the roof and then the bottom of the birdhouse with this. I ain't gonna show you the whole thing. I'm just kind of going over my mistake here, and then I'm gonna kind of, you know, go around the edges and everything. Anyway, once I get everything done there, I'm gonna start trying to line up my edges here. Now, some of these did get a little long, but I wasn't measuring. I was just kind of going with the flow, and I wanted them long enough to where they weren't going to be too short. I knew I could trim them down, so I wasn't too concerned about that. So here I'm just taking some cutters here, and I'm just trimming them down. Some of them are overlapping. Some of them are a little long, but who doesn't have really long icicles? And, well, except for us, the Floridians down in Florida, I'm sure they don't have icicles, but, and maybe some of those, crazy Texans and stuff, but, you know, I'm just saying, us northern folk up here, we get ones that will be so long that they will drip for days and will reach the ground. So I know that they can be very long and all that. So so I was just going with the flow here, like I said, and just kind of gluing them down along my roof area. And yeah. I tried getting the best looking ones in the very front. Again, some of them still kind of had a few strings that I just could not get, but it's turned out okay. And if you heat them up, you know, the glue starts to melt, so you don't really want to do too much of that. I mean, I did do it a little bit, trying to melt some of those, but it is what it is. And then I just did a strip of glue and just glued these down. And some of these got a little long too, and I just cut them off at the ends as well at the end. So yeah, here I'm going in and trimming the ends off a little bit here, and then I grabbed this cute little purple birdie and glued him down to the little perch. I'm just like, okay, now he needs a little bit of greenery, so I'll grab some of these little green leaves, and I'm going to glue these right down to the bottom of our little birdhouse here. And then I just decide to grab some of the little berries and finish off just like so. And we're gonna move on to project number 2. So project number 2, I ended up getting this mason jar sign from a dear friend of mine, Jessica from The Busy Housewife. Thank you, dear. I decided I was going to make a little decor for my kitchen. I am going strawberries, like full on hardcore strawberry everything in my kitchen. Yeah, 100%. Vintage decor, anything new, anything old, strawberry decor. So red, green, pink, it's all gonna fit in that. And I thought, you know, since I have these mason jars that Jessica gave me, I am going to make my own little jar of strawberry jam. So I have this paper that I have in my stash, and that kind of looks like strawberry jam. So I am just going to glue this down on our little mason jar, and I'm going to cut around the edge of this. You can use a block for this, and sand along the edges. And then I'm going to grab my ink here, my Deoxide. This is dark espresso, and I'm just going around this and just inking along the sides of this, just to kind of give it a little flair. I have this strawberry booklet here, and I'm trying to find some kind of label on this that I would that kind of speaks to me, and I decided to go for this one here that says strawberry. And I'm just going to cut this out here. And then I'm like, okay, obviously I think it needs something else. So I'm hem-hawing around, and I found these doilies in my stash, and I'm like, oh yes, this is definitely the vibe I'm going for here. Like I said, this one's kind of a little bit more non-Christmas vibe that we're going here, but I had to make this must-use item work for what I was going for. And the must-use item we had to do was a shower cap, you guys. A shower cap. So you will see what I have to do with that here in just a minute. But right now we're going to glue down our little doily here. I grabbed my glue stick, and I'm just giving this a good coat. We're going to glue this down, and we're going to make sure it all sticks good. And then I'm going to glue our little label down right in the middle of our doily. And la-da. Now comes the shower cap. I actually chose pink. These came from Walmart. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to make this work, but I thought maybe I could cut this and make it thinner. I'm going to cut around it and get that border off of it, basically. And then out comes the lining, and then all I have is that top part there, that pink part, and the pink is what I wanted in the first place. So the pink is what I'm going to use for our cover, for our top of our jar here. For a little bit of decor. And then I have a lot of excess, so I figured I would flip it around and kind of make it like 2-layered. So I'm kind of trying to do that. And I do got a bunch of excess in the back, but we're going to try to make it to where you ain't going to see that. So I'm kind of trying to tuck it down. I'm going to grab some ribbon. This is actually rickrack, white rickrack, and I'm just going to wrap it around for a little decorative ribbon here. Glue a little bit here just to tack it, but we're going to wrap and wrap to give it a little bit more stability. Now I do end up writing, okay, well actually I'm trying to get the holes back through here, so this liner is, it's gonna melt with the glue gun, so I'm actually just sticking the glue gun, trying to find the hole right here. I'm actually just gonna stick the nozzle of my glue gun right through where that hole is in the board. And I'm going to use the actual holes. There, you can kind of see me do it there. Just to get it through. And then we're going to put the same string right back through. I did have a little trouble getting it through at first, just because of this back piece kind of got a little uneven, but I'm actually just going to tie a couple of knots through it. I'm not going to tie it the way they did. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to this other side here. And then we'll have our own little hanger. And we're going to cut the excess off. So, you do actually see me write jam on here. But I actually don't like the way that turns out. So, in the final reveal, you'll see me actually have strawberry stickers on top of that instead. And then I'll add one giant strawberry to the top of that where the Rick Rack ribbon is. Just to kind of give it a little extra detail. Just so you guys know, it does get changed up a little bit. And I didn't film it. Project number 3. Third item that we're supposed to use is paint stir sticks. I've gotten these a long time ago off of Amazon. These paint stir sticks don't have the curve on them. And I am just drawing a little curve on them, actually, surprisingly. And I'm just going to kind of round this edge here. And I'm trying to cut them down easily without breaking them or cracking them with my X-Acto knife. And then I'm going to use my sanding block and sand it down a little bit. I do this to 4 of them. We are going to paint these now with Holly Branch. I'm going to basically end up making skis. These are going to probably go in my tree this year. I do kind of go for a little bit more of a... I changed up my style last year. And it's kind of more of a nature-inspired thing. So I thought these would kind of fit right into that. Now to make the... I don't remember what they're called. The ski poke things or whatever they are. I wanted to... I'm using like cinnamon sticks for that. And I cut down little tacks. And then I'm actually using a bead. Or it's not a bead actually. It's it's kind of a bead, I guess. It's a silver bead, I guess. And I'm gluing the tack to the silver bead and then gluing the bead to the cinnamon stick to kind of give it that pull look. And then I do that to all 4. And then we're going to kind of have them leaning on these skis like we have them right now. Now I grabbed my Posca paint pen and we're going to kind of decorate up our skis a little bit here. Do some a couple little snowflakes and some lines and stuff just to kind of give them a little bit of that ski lodge look. To kind of make it fit into our theme going here. Some of them getting a little off camera, so I apologize for that, but you get the idea. And then I grab out some little ribbon here. And I'm just going to wrap the ribbon around here and give it a good tight pull. I might add some greenery to these. I didn't show any of that, the greenery on here, but I might go back and add some greenery. Maybe when it gets closer to Christmas or something. just looked like it was missing something. My camera actually ended up stopping recording anyway on me when I was working on this, but you get pretty much the general idea. I do that to both. And then here I'm using a couple of... I'm cutting loops for the top of the ski poles here. And I do that for both of them as well. Now we're going to get into the final reveal, you guys. And here's how our skis turned out. I do kind of have to straighten the poles out again. They kind of move on me. And here's our little bird house. And then our mason jar. Strawberry mason jar. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed all of this. Make sure you guys go check everybody else out over on the playlist. Give them all some love. Make sure you guys go check out BB's Crafty Haven. And make sure you guys go check out Kathy Jo and Brenda. Give them all some love. And make sure you like, subscribe, hype. All that stuff will be great for the channel. Guys, also, please make sure you guys are subscribed if you haven't already checked that, because YouTube is doing their YouTube-y thing and unsubscribing people. I've already noticed that. It happens like every year. So just make sure that if you have been subscribed and you have noticed that you haven't been getting notified or anything, make sure you're subscribed and make sure your bell is clicked and everything so you get notified every time I upload. Love you all, and I hope you guys all have a great week. God bless you, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, everybody. Mwah. Love y'all.